Okay, so we are back, and we just got done talking about the aortic valve and the pulmonary valve. We're going to go into the pulmonary artery and the pulmonary vein right now. So let's get started. Okay, so let's talk first about what these do. We have the pulmonary artery, and what the pulmonary artery is going to do is it brings blood to the lungs. Okay, it's going to bring blood to the lungs. Okay, the pulmonary artery is the only artery in the body that has deoxygenated blood. Okay, so it has deoxygenated blood, and that's why it has to go to the lungs, so it can get blood. The pulmonary vein, it brings blood from the lungs back to the heart. From the lungs back to the heart. Okay? And then we have the aorta. And what the aorta does is the aorta is going to take blood from the heart to the body. So the aorta, the blood goes from the heart to the body. The aorta, it's also an artery. It's the biggest artery in the body. The aorta is. Okay, so let's take a look at how these look on the heart. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we are going to draw the pulmonary artery. So if I have my pulmonary artery, if you may recall, I had my pulmonary valve. This is going to be down in the right ventricle. So my pulmonary artery is going to come up, and it's going to bifurcate or split in two, and it's going to go out to the lungs. Okay, it's going to go out to the lungs. So this one's going to go to the left lung, and this is going to go to the right lung. Okay, so that's what's going to happen with my pulmonary artery. And it's right pulmonary artery. Okay, then I'm going to have my aorta. Okay, so the aorta is going to come out of the left ventricle. So if you recall, the aorta comes out of the left ventricle. This is my aortic valve right here. And then it's going to come around, and it's going to make an arch. Now, and then it actually has 3 arteries that come off the top here, and the aorta is going to come around like this. Okay, and this is the aorta. Okay, so once again, I have my aortic valve right down here. Okay, and I'm going to have my pulmonary valve right here. Okay, this is going to be in the right ventricle, and I want to draw the right ventricle, so I'm trying to leave myself some room, and this would be from the left ventricle. Okay? And now what's going to happen is, let me actually write these real quick. So I'm going to have my heart, right? And if I were to draw my heart, I'm going to draw it coming down like this, and then coming back up like this, and then I would have my right atrium, and I would have my left atrium. Okay? Now, what's going to happen next is I need to have blood coming back from the lungs back into the heart, and that's going to come into the left ventricle. So blood from the pulmonary vein comes into the left ventricle. Now you actually have 4 pulmonary veins. All right, and so these are going to be kind of hard to draw. In fact, I'm not even going to draw them as tubes. I'm just going to draw lines. So this would be, these 2 here are going to be coming back from the left lung. Okay, and I'm just going to say these are my left pulmonary veins. And then I'm going to have the 2 more coming from the right. And they're actually going to come behind the heart. So I'm going to draw kind of a dotted line and go into the left atrium. And so these here would be my right pulmonary veins. Okay, so just to reiterate, the left pulmonary vein is going to bring blood with oxygen from the lungs back to the left atrium. The right pulmonary veins are going to bring blood from the right lung back to the left atrium. Okay, my pulmonary artery is going to have deoxygenated blood that's going to go to the right and left lung. My aorta, you can see it's right here. It's going to carry this out to the body. And that is the pulmonary veins, the aortic, or let's go in order. Aortic valve, pulmonary artery, which brings it out to the lungs, and then my pulmonary veins.